should have gotten the hint when I saw every Joe Schmo from off the street that literally looked like they rolled out of bed fucking homeless, waiting in line to get into this thing.
Of course, the key didn't work, and I was like, yep, we are still ghetto coming in here.
That's what I got of waiting in line for an hour and a half.
Hi everybody, welcome to the channel. So there's a story that is trending about Marshal's pop event where this influencer was invited and she thought it was an influencer exclusive kind of event. But then when she got there, she found people who she says look homeless, did not dress well, did not do their hair well. No, and she was calling them Schmos, saying she will never go to such events again. But let's hear what people have to say about it, and then I'm going to come later with my comments.
I want to comment on this Marshall's Kimberly woman who got upset because Marshall invited her to an event, a creator event, but then when she pulled up, she saw that there were like people there who weren't creators or weren't there to like do content and stuff like that, which is a very valid point. But she also felt the need to defend her stance because she was being not only did you express how Marshall misled you and what the event was, you then went on to generalize everyone else who was in the line as Joe Schmoes, as people who were lacking common sense or couth to just show up and dress however they want to. First of all, this is Marshall's. Marshall's is a dump. Marshall's is the dump that we all love, because we're going to find great things there at a great price. You're not walking into Givenchy. You're not walking into Louis Vuitton. So that sort of air about you that you had that was expressed and how you like were generalizing people in line with you, that already turned people off. That's number one. Number two, if you didn't care what people had to say, if it wasn't a big deal to you, then you wouldn't have made the response videos that you did. You know, if you're going to say, this is how I felt about the situation, it is what it is, y'all can suck. That would have been fine because you're standing on business. But you going on this whole explanation on why people are misunderstanding and being too sensitive and being woke is just digging you a deeper and deeper and deeper hole. So my advice to you is, if you have a disagreement against the company, keep it about the company. But if you're going to include other parties and start generalizing them and start like labeling them as something, and that community gets mad at you, but stand on that shit and don't go around in circles defending yourself. You could have made a video talking to Marshalls, right? Telling them how their event was misleading, it was unprofessional, it wasn't worth your time or energy, but you went a step above and decided to talk about people in line. And then the other thing that rubbed me the wrong way is when you were in there looking at shit, you're looking at some blue file cabinet or what have you, and because the lock wasn't working, you're calling it ghetto. That just placed you in a dumb white box. You're the type of woman who sees something that isn't pristine and calls it ghetto. You have no idea what ghetto is. And for you to use it like that, it really sends a message to people that you're tone deaf. So like I said, stand on business, shut your mouth, or run your mouth and stand on it.
She voiced her opinion. And if it had only been that, her opinion about how the event was, she probably wouldn't be getting the backlash that she is currently receiving right now. But of course, that's not what happened, right? She had to go above and beyond and say things that are extremely out of pocket. She called Marshall's ghettoed per usual, her words, not mine, and went off to say that she should have known how the event was going to go because she just saw regular Joe Schmoes that looked like they had rolled out of bed and looked homeless. Again, her words, not mine. Then proceeds to show a DM, or I should say a screenshot of the DM that she got from Marshall's extending an invitation in one of her 3 videos. Yes, you heard that correctly. 3 videos. That's how bothered she is. She shows that receipt, right? And listen, she said that a lot of people may not know what being invited to an event might be like, or how it is to go to these types of things. And as somebody that had in her other account like 20 million, you hear me? I wish. 20,000 plus followers, who has been around the block, who has gone to a few events and have been invited to restaurants to go and review them. Let me tell you something. I would never act like that. That is horrifying to act that way and to post a video of particularly of the brand that invited you. You are burning bridges before you even have them built. More importantly, I feel like you perhaps did not ask the most pertinent questions when it comes to attending events. Maybe you did. I'm gonna give you that little benefit of the doubt, right? And you just didn't state that in any of your 3 videos. That would be helpful, right? If you did ask these questions. But let's say you didn't, right? As somebody that gets invited to these events, you would ask these types of questions like, what's the event like? What are the requirements? What do I have to post? Is it a creator exclusive event? Is it a pop-up? Like those types of things would help. And as Gabby Hanna said, it would have helped you to manage your expectations. You're being invited to this event and you have to treat it like it's work, all right? This is where you're going to network. This is where you're going to meet other people. You're going to be creating content and hopefully build that rapport with the brand, right? And I'm not saying you can't talk about how things were run, your experience, if it was good or bad, this, that, and the third. You can do that. There's other people that have done that in a more tactful and respectful way. You, on the other hand, were mean. You were just awful. You came off as a bully, right? Because you were talking bad about other people and how they look, their appearance, how they dressed. They don't know you from a can of paint. All right. And that's how you're talking about them. And you posted it online, making the brand look bad in the process.
Hi, it's me, Kim. You recognize me from recent hit videos like Micro-Influencer Gets Upset That Poor People Are in a Marshalls. Well, you're taking my words out of context. Did I take the video with the words down so that you cannot possibly get the context of the video? Yes. Yes, I did. But these little clips all of you smarty pants on the internet have of me, how dare you? How dare you? If I uploaded the video again, you would absolutely get the context of what I was actually doing, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to tell you why you have the context wrong. First, I use the word homeless to describe people. That's part of my brand. I was not calling people ghetto. Okay, I was using the term ghetto to describe things at Marshalls. Marshalls even knows that they were in the wrong for inviting me, look at me, listen to me. My whole vibe, my aesthetic, my extreme influence on all like 8,000 whatever of you. They were in the wrong.
I just came back from a Marshall's pop-up event and it was just so disgusting. I should have known when I saw every Joe Schmo coming in there looking homeless, looking like a bunch of ragamuffins, knowing that this shit was gonna be shit. This is some fucking ghetto key shit that I can't believe that they made me do. Gotta moosh. What are they doing? And then I spent all this time there, and this is all they give me. This setting powder is empty. I can't believe they let these homeless looking go into these pop-up events. We gotta have a little talk, cause I thought Marshall's was something fancy. But you know what? It's just another Kmart. And you remember what happened to Kmart? We don't got those no more.
But she makes an apology and says that she was not talking down to the people at Marshall's.
That my video was taken out of context. That's not what I meant. And I wasn't trying to directly call those people homeless, or as someone took it, that I called them ghetto and not the event or the key not working.
But she did say they were schmucks.
Please make sure that you have a content creator day and that you also have a day where any schmuck could come in.
And then she walked by those people and something very nasty. Even though she didn't say it directly, she showed her disgust with the people that were there. Just regular people.
There's an event for waiting and nothing else. And then I went outside and looked at all the rest of these people. Look at the people in the line. And this is what was waiting to go in. And I said,
She said, and this is what was waiting to go in. This is what was waiting to go in. You mean this is who was waiting to go in? You see how dehumanizing that is when you say what was waiting? Who refers to a person? What refers to an object, concept, or thing? You can't fool people. If you're going to be an influencer or pretend to be an influencer, you actually have to care about people. Look.
What happened? Okay, first, I can understand your frustration. It's a big deal when a brand personally reaches out to you and says, hey, we want you, specifically, to come to an event. It's a big deal. You're finally like, oh my God, they're noticing me. They're inviting me. It's huge. You weren't just upset. You were disgusted. The way you described the people outside in the line, and then you call it ghetto? Okay. You said that they look like they just rolled out of bed, that they look homeless? Girl, come back down to earth. Okay, we're down here. Okay? All right. Because I don't know where the fuck you're at. And then you went inside and the key wasn't working. And that shit was ghetto because the key wasn't working? Okay, I saw the video, and as soon as she took the key from you, she kind of opened it really quick, so I don't know what you were doing. You were too busy filming your, like, horrible experience, so you couldn't even open the lock yourself. But anyway, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And maybe you didn't really mean it that way, and it came out wrong. Then, when you walked out, you were looking at all the people in the line, disgusted. And then you said, I wanted to tell them that this is what they were going to get. But then I was just like, no, I'll let them be. It's not that you needed to tell them. It was the way you said it. And you could tell it was just like, I didn't deserve to be treated like this. They do. So I'm going to make sure that they see what they win and have the same experience I did, because I don't deserve that horrible experience. They do.
Joe Schmo, she says, with her 8,000 followers. And you're calling people homeless and ghetto because they didn't get their hair done and get dressed up for a Marshall's giveaway. And the worst part is, you have other micro-influencers in her comments being like, oh my god, you guys, this is the part that nobody talks about. I only do paid events. I'm sorry, you have 1,000 followers. Who is paying you to do anything?
Okay, so let's talk about the fact that this influencer has only 8k followers. 8k is too little because for an influencer, we think they have like a million, hundreds of followers or something, you know. But followers aside, the attitude was very dismissive and very derogatory because she's putting herself on a pedestal because she's rich and the other people look not rich. So on one side, maybe she thought it was an exclusive influencer event, but then it's her fault because she could have asked questions. You know, like, it's just common sense that someone would ask what the event is all about so you understand what kind of a situation you will encounter. But I am still stuck in the attitude. I feel like sometimes even if you feel a certain way about some things, it's not okay to just come and talk it out loud just the way you're thinking it. You know, you can filter a little bit so that you look proper in front of people. And I'm saying this because as an adult, sometimes you cannot change someone's behavior. If someone thinks that way, that's how they're going to think no matter what you tell them. They will never stop thinking that way. I think the best thing we can do is tell them, filter what you're saying. So yeah, she was wrong. This video should have never seen light of day. And then she came back with an apology, of course saying that it was taken out of context. I have a problem with apologies. If you're not going to apologize and say, I'm sorry, I did this and I'm going to rectify, then don't bother at all. Don't bother at all. Because people are going to see through you and they're going to come for you even more. And also at the end of the day, nobody wants half apologies. If you're going to apologize, just apologize. If you're not going to apologize, just don't post a follow-up video at all. I think this was out of order on her part, and let me know what you think about this situation. That's it for now. Bye.